Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I have some really great stuff to go over today. Some really good stuff. I want to talk about, first of all, I want to talk about the title. A lot of people tuning in. Good morning, everybody. Wow, everybody's bright and breezy today, bright and breezy, myself included. Maybe that's because I'm back on the coffee, but that's another story. Okay, so better to be. What's up, lights on? Yes, we love the good stuff. We do indeed. Espressos are us. I maybe should open a company. So I wanted to go over the title of the mantra today. What's up, Jared? What's up, Connie? What's up, everybody? Oh, he's so small over there. Jamie, Scott, what's up? I wanted to go over the name of the mantra today because the name of the mantra today is better to be loved than liked, which sounds a little bit syrupy and a little bit kind of like, oh, what does that mean exactly? Well, I'm kind of following in the footsteps here of great people who I admire, who have been very successful at social media campaigns. And there was I'm going to mention the name of this podcast again because I really want you guys to kind of get this. I was listening to another podcast of Masters of Scale, which is done by Reid Hoffman, and one of his guests, whose name escapes me, said a really profound phrase, which is what really kicked off this whole idea for the mantra, which is, I would much rather have 100 followers that love me than 1 million that kind of like me. Now, that might sound counterintuitive to us because, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to go off camera. There we go. Don't know why I didn't want to sneeze on camera, but I didn't want to sneeze on camera. So, better to be loved by 100 people than liked by 1 million. Now, many of us who love social media strategies, which I really love social media strategies because I feel that not only does it complement big data, it also combats it, right? Because I'm not going to go down that road today, but big data, which is permeating our industry, really is not really built on. A lot of it isn't built on relationships. It's built on data only, and I'm all about relationships. And I find you get no more. There's no easier way to rekindle a relationship than through social media. So let's talk about this. So I'm going to break the sentence down, and then I'm going to kind of dig into it. Better to have 100 people that like you, better to have 100 people that love you than 1 million people that like you. Now that's extreme, yeah? I'm not even sure if I really subscribe to that. Would I prefer 1 million people liking me than 100 loving me? Probably. But I want to kind of get to the essence of this, which is what we are in real estate is we're looking and we're trying to find anyone and everybody we can that's in our sphere, kind of in our sphere, might be in our sphere, might not be in our sphere, and we're trying to convert them into leads, we're trying to convert them into relationships, we're trying to convert them into business. And what I have found is over the years, when we are so focused on charge, we are charging over the hill looking for new people, what happens is we tend to disregard a lot of people that we already have relationships with, because at the end of the day, when we're trying to fill our pipeline, we sometimes think, well, that relationship's great, but you know what? I'm just gonna carry on doing my strategies where I kind of disregard the people who already love me, who already want to. I'm going to remove the word love. I'm going to replace it with, we disregard the people that already have our confidence and already want to work with us, because we're spending so much bloody time trying to find people who are a maybe. So here's what I want to encourage you, and this was really born from, I follow a lot of entrepreneurs and startups and how startups happened, and there's a lot of similarities with Steve Jobs, and some of the gods of industry have said this: if you have an idea and only a few people really love that idea, right, it means that you're onto something. Whereas if everybody's kind of like, yeah, that's cool, in industry, the kind of idea are often dissipated. So I want to break that down into what I mean with clients. So if you guys here, you're all on social media because you're all watching this, I challenge all of you right now that I bet if you went through some of the people in your social media accounts, you would stumble across names of people that you have got or had really good, strong, powerful relationships with that you've kind of not contacted in a year, 2 years, maybe even 3 years. So it wouldn't be surprising if you're in the business of trying to cultivate business from your sphere that they might have moved on and used another vendor, whatever industry you're in. Obviously, a lot of people here are in real estate. So what I want us to do by saying I would rather have 100 people love me than 1 million people kind of like me is that 100 people are what? They are your advocates. Those are the people that come hell or high water will work with you over and over and over and over again. You already have them as believers. So you got to reach out and you got to nurture them and you got to kind of love them, because in the real estate industry and in lots of other industries, here's what happens. When you take care of those people that already love you, right? That already have confidence in you as a professional, when you nurture them and water them, they're like plants, right? You got to water them, you got to check in. How's the family? How's the kids? Thinking about you. I was just in Hancock Park, if you've got someone who lives in Hancock Park. Reminded me of you, wanted to reach out and say, hey, because these people are your army of advocates, and that is where most of the business comes from, right? How many people that are in the real estate industry now, or forget real estate, in any industry, right, where we're trying to find new clients, you have those key advocates, I know I do, where I've had a client that's turned me on to 5, 10, maybe 15 other people, and I cherish that relationship and I nurture it and I take them out for dinner and I stay in contact and I invite them to events and I have parties at my house and I make sure that they're always there, because number one, we like each other, and number two, they're my biggest advocates. So chasing strangers, and in social media that would be followers, right? Trying to accrue as many followers as possible is pointless, because they're all strangers from all over the world. What I would do, what I recommend we do, is that we go through our social media accounts and we look at that 100, 200, 300 people that we have a great relationship with, and we nurture it. It isn't always business. You maybe just reach out and check in. Hey, Tom, how's the dog? How's your leg? How's the wife? How's the divorce? How's the birth? Whatever the hell it is, we just need to reach out. This is Prospecting 101. I want to now switch gears a little bit and go into another subject for all of you lovely people out there who are deploying social media strategies. You have heard me use this gentleman's name before, Seth Godin. I used to have a book of his right here. It's right there. Seth Godin. You should look him up if you don't know who he is. He is kind of like the pre-Gary Vee, pre-Tony Robbins. He's a kind of a business guru who I really like and I really follow. And Seth Godin has this thing called The Dip, okay? It's called The Dip, and I heard it. I couldn't believe my ears. I was watching Billions last night, and I'm like, whoa, they just referred to Seth Godin and The Dip. So I'm like, I want to refresh people's memories out there who don't know what it is, and I also want to tell you what it is if you don't know what it is. Seth Godin refers to The Dip being this. When you are in the middle of a strategy, right, there is a moment, and sometimes it can be quite a long moment, where you think, this is not happening. This is just pointless. This is never gonna work. I can't see this happening in 1,000,000 years. This is just, I need to do something else because obviously this strategy is not working. And it seems, it's like it's darkest before the dawn. And if you need to know in detail how Seth talks about it, you should Google Seth Godin, The Dip Theory, and it will come up. This is what it is. I have had moments in my life because especially with social media, and I'm very social media heavy, right? Social media is very insular. I mean, I could be on the space shuttle right now, or I could be in an igloo, or I could be in a submarine. Nobody knows where we all are, especially if we do broadcasting through social media. It's really insular. And then inevitably what happens is when you do something like this, like my Monday mantras, which I love, you get a peaking audience, and then people get used to it, and then sometimes you don't see as many people, and the natural instinct, and I'm using mantra obviously as an example, is, oh, it's beginning to not work, and I should maybe think about doing something else. No, that is the dip. The dip is when we begin to second guess ourselves in a strategy that we truly believe in. And unfortunately, the dip tends to be in strategies that not many other people do, because we get insecure, we get full of self-doubt. So what I want to really, I want to implore on all of you guys out there listening right now is, if you are deploying social media strategies, it doesn't have to be social media. Maybe you're doing something just a little bit different. Maybe you're trying to find business in a different way to other people in your industry. Stick it out, because there's that little voice inside that resonates, right? Only in my case, I have 1,000 voices every morning, and a lot of them are very insulting. But I have a very, very quiet voice that happens to appear before all others. And that voice is my gut, and it's my instinct, and it's the one that I listen to the most, because God bless it, it has never, ever, 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 ever led me wrong. Not once. You know what leads me wrong? This, the old noggin, the brain, where I go, well, it seems like a good idea, but I'm not really sure. Perhaps I should da-da-da-da-da. And I wonder if, you know what, it's no good. And then I talk myself out of a fabulous idea. And again, no idea is a bad idea, because if splat, you hit the wall really quickly, you find out much faster than you normally would if you kind of half-arse it and, tippy-toe down the road. I'm about idea, 1,000 miles an hour. Does it work? Does it not work? Great, next. Okay, I want to finish the mantra. Boy, by gum, as they say in Yorkshire, I am hyped up today. I think it's because, ladies and gentlemen, confession, I just had an espresso before I came on camera, which is something I haven't done in a while, and I don't know why I ever stopped. Confession over. Okay, I want to finish with one last phrase. Let me just open my MacBook, because it's a juicy. This was something else I heard. I'm like I'm kind of like a filter paper in a tumble dryer. I hear phrases and I stick to them. I got to use that in the mantra. And here's another one, and I got to use that in the mantra. And I'm using it specifically because I'm talking about instinct. I'm talking about gut. And there was a phrase that I heard yesterday somewhere. It might have been on Billions again. If you don't cultivate instinct and listen to it, you're doomed. Right? I 1,000% espresso confessional. Love that. I 1,000% subscribe to that. Let me read that again. If we don't cultivate instinct, if we don't listen to our gut, and then we don't follow that instinct, we are doomed. Well, maybe we're not doomed. We could be doomed to a slow kind of mediocre life, perhaps. And for me, living a life in the middle is really kind of purgatory. I would much rather live all in or all out, because I don't like playing in the middle, because I like to see what works and what doesn't work. So I'm going to recap the 3 things today, guys. So better to be loved than liked. Don't worry about picking up likes in Poland and bloody, Australia. Well, not Australia, but, these far countries where, well, I mean, I'm not saying don't care, but I'm saying don't focus. Don't focus on getting as many likes as you can in Nepal or Azerbaijan or wherever these places are. Find your core group of people, and in Facebook you have this lovely ability to create lists. And if you use Iconosquare, you can use lists in Instagram. That's a whole other Monday mantra. So nurture the people that are already your advocates. When you're doing a strategy, don't let the old mind take over, because as Seth Godin says, it's the dip. It's the darkest before the dawn, okay? And then lastly, if we don't cultivate our instinct and listen to it, ladies and gentlemen, we are doomed. Not doomed, but you know what I mean. So, all right, That's it for another Monday Mantra, fully charged today. Fully charged. I will be back again next week and I cannot wait. I'll be counting the minutes. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, get out there, go kill it. Anybody needs anything, you ping me, you email me, you text me, you carrier pigeon me, and occasionally I will respond to smoke signals. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, from the space shuttle submarine known as PLG Estates, this is Pete Lorimer signing out until next week. Toodaloo!